What happens when the world's most famous AI lab decides to ditch its unusual non-profit structure and chase a $500 billion valuation? Today we're diving into the OpenAI Microsoft restructuring deal, a non-binding agreement that could flip OpenAI's governance on its head. This isn't just a corporate paperwork shuffle, it's a move that could reshape the global AI race, the balance of power between tech giants, and even how future AI models get built and sold. Stay with me, because the twists in this story are wild. OpenAI started with a noble mission: build safe, beneficial AI for humanity. That's why it created a non-profit parent company to oversee its for-profit arm. The idea was to prevent investors from hijacking its mission with short-term greed. But as AI exploded, so did the need for capital. Training frontier models like GPT-5 isn't cheap. We're talking billions of dollars just to keep the lights on in the data centers. That's when Microsoft stepped in. In 2019, Microsoft invested $1 billion. In 2023, it dropped another $10 billion. In return, Microsoft got exclusive resale rights and privileged access to OpenAI's technology and locked OpenAI into Azure as its main compute provider. But OpenAI didn't stay locked in. Fast forward to today, OpenAI has signed deals with Google Cloud and Oracle, and it's even building its own massive Stargate data center. The once exclusive relationship with Microsoft is now more of an open marriage. The new non-binding agreement with Microsoft sets up a massive governance shift. Here's what's being proposed. OpenAI becomes a traditional for-profit company. That means it can raise money and eventually go public, like any other startup. The non-profit arm still benefits. It would hold around 20% of their equity, which could be worth over $100 billion if OpenAI hits its rumored $500 billion valuation. Microsoft still gets access. Even though OpenAI is spreading its bets with Oracle and Google, Microsoft wants continued rights to use its models inside Azure and across its products. And here's the kicker. The whole thing still needs approval from attorneys general in California and Delaware. Without that green light, the deal could collapse, and billions of dollars in funding would evaporate. Here's the challenge. Training frontier AI models is insanely expensive. NVIDIA GPUs are scarce and costly. Demand for AI tools is skyrocketing. Competitors like Anthropic, Google DeepMind, and xAI are all racing ahead with billions in backing. To stay in the game, OpenAI needs near infinite compute. That's why it's making a bold move, building its own AI chips with Broadcom. Think of it like Tesla building batteries to avoid being held hostage by suppliers. These custom chips won't be for sale. They'll power OpenAI's own models. But even with chips in the works, OpenAI still needs a mountain of cash. That's why restructuring into a for-profit, IPO-ready company is so tempting. Without it, OpenAI risks being outspent and outscaled by rivals. Now let's talk about Microsoft. On one hand, Microsoft has poured billions into OpenAI and doesn't want to lose its crown jewel. OpenAI's models power Bing, GitHub Copilot, and Microsoft 365 Copilot. Losing preferential access could be a nightmare. On the other hand, Microsoft knows OpenAI wants independence. So this deal is Microsoft's way of saying, fine, go IPO, sign deals with Google, just don't cut us out. It's a delicate dance. Protect its investment while giving OpenAI room to grow. If Microsoft plays this right, it keeps its AI edge. If not, it risks being one customer among many. Here's the part that blows people's minds. OpenAI's non-profit parent, the same entity that was designed to avoid profit-driven motives, could end up with a $100 billion windfall. That's enough to fund generations of AI safety research, global education, or literally buy entire countries' tech sectors. But it also raises a tough question. Is OpenAI still living up to its original mission, or has it fully transformed into another Silicon Valley megacorporation? This is where critics jump in. Some say the non-profit windfall is proof the system worked. It steered OpenAI to a place where it could secure funding while keeping humanity in mind. Others say it's just a loophole that allowed a non-profit to turn into one of the richest startups in history. So what's the takeaway? OpenAI is moving toward a Wall Street-ready structure. Microsoft is trying to keep a grip on its most important partner while allowing it to roam. The non-profit could become one of the richest non-profits ever, with $100 billion in future equity. And the global AI race just got even more unpredictable, with OpenAI building chips, raising billions, and preparing for an IPO. The bottom line, this restructuring isn't just about one company, it's about who controls the future of artificial intelligence and whether the mission of benefiting humanity can survive the gravitational pull of $500 billion valuations. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next big news in AI.